Thank you all for tuning in again. Thank you all. I appreciate that. And I hope that you all have been staying nice and cool and hydrated in the scorching heat. It has been absolutely crazy out there, right? Before we get started, I want to extend my appreciation and my gratitude to everyone who shared my videos with integrity. That's very important to me. So everyone who shared my videos with integrity, liked the videos, left comments, because we have been bringing awareness in the truest sense on serious issues from day one. Not tea, straight facts, no chaser, right? The unadulterated truth. Also, y'all may hear me repeat certain points that I've addressed in previous videos, partly because I want to consider anyone who has just entered the room, because it's important that we are all on the same page. Okay. To any new subscribers, thank y'all for being here. If you need to catch up, if anything sounds confusing, please please visit the very first video that I did. Just go look through my videos. Interview. I'll put interview. I'm using the gesture where you use quotes. Start there, because that one had people like going off. So start there, right? So, reflecting on the huge amount of support Opp has received, as well as the unbelievable number of females who participated in the violation of Chelle, as well as the most recent disturbing example of channel holders exploiting a deceased disabled woman for money, clout, and accolades, right? It is safe to presume that these degenerate females also pose as a clear and present danger to children, because many of these females are mothers. This is alarming. When you think about it, this is very alarming. These Opp supporters who have participated, encouraged Chelle to be violated, not only by Opp, but the other degenerate weirdos that she brought in. These female rodents are mothers. Think about that for a minute. When you think about the vast number of females, again, I said this in a previous video, I never refer to women as females. It's like you're referring to, or you're speaking about cattle. You know what I mean? I never refer to women as females, but since Opp fans have boldly and proudly reduced themselves to rodents and vermin, female will be the term I will be using in this video, right? And future videos as well. It is very befitting. Okay? So, when you think about the ridiculous amount of females that supported and still support Opp, overtly or covertly, right? Conducted commentary on Opp and Chelle for entertainment purposes under the guise of educating and bringing awareness. Think about how many have kikied with Opp as they pulled up to her lives, right? I even read comments in one of Opp's chats where these female roaches were giving Opp suggestions on how to soothe her baby's ailment. Her baby was fussy in one of the lives she did, right? Crying and, fussy. You know how babies are when they're uncomfortable, right? And many of you also have watched this live where Opp, after she had gave birth, her and Danny was in a room wherever they were staying at. The baby was very fussy. Opp appeared to be distressed and annoyed when her baby wouldn't stop crying. And these female roaches had the audacity to offer mommy hacks and remedies, right? On how to get the baby to calm down. Well, not too long ago, they were encouraging Opp to put hands and feet on Chelle to humiliate and defile her. Right? I mean, that's a lot of audacity. But like I said before, these roaches, they stay with the audacity. As a matter of fact, audacity is and appears to be, for a very long time, moving forward, at an all-time high. So when you also reflect on the number of female Opp fans who have straddled the fence with Opp, aka flip-flopsters, you know, those were the ones who were supporting Opp, like I said earlier, whether overtly or covertly. They would call in, encourage Opp to violate Chelle and the other weirdos. Some of them, you know what I mean, was in the bushes, but they still supported her. Some of them are channel holders. I'm going to keep my foot on their necks. If y'all listening, I'm going to keep my foot on y'all neck. It's up. It's up and stuck. Best believe that. Y'all was better off not thinking about me from the very beginning, from day one when I got on here. Y'all was better off not thinking about me. I don't think about clout chasers. You know what I mean? But here we are. Here we are. So knowing that many of these Opp fans, covertly or overtly, are mothers. They are mothers, aunts, and or they may work with children in some capacity at daycare, schools, babysitting, etc. Right? They're around children. Children are around them. Right? That's the point. This is extremely alarming. 1%. This is extremely... Imagine sending your children off to school or, you know, some after school extracurricular program activities, right? Or to a sleepover at their friend's home. Imagine that. And they are under an Opp fan who has enjoyed Chelle being violated. Think about that. That is something to think about. Okay? I said before, my tribe, the 1%, people who resonate with me, they are critical thinkers. And if not, they strive to be critical thinkers. Because that's how you're going to be able to navigate life successfully. Okay? So, yeah, that's definitely something to think about. We already established that Opp supporters, they range in race, ethnicity, and age, among other factors. Okay? Let me throw that out there as a reminder. They range in race, ethnicity, and age, and gender also. Now, a good number are probably in their late teens, right? Early 20s. But there's also a good number of female Opp fans well over 30, 40 years of age, give or take, who support Opp. What's crazy, y'all? Check out anyone here who has not listened to When Flip-Flopsters Attack. That was the very next video I did after the interview. Because I had to put a lot of these holes in place. I had to let a lot of these holes know what it was, right? You know, because I came on here humble. Me and Babies and Fools Network. Supreme from Babies and Fools Network. Go subscribe. Go check out the videos on his channel if you have not done so for context and background information. We came on here humble with the intent to inform me personally, introduce myself as Chelle's cousin, give context on Chelle being a mentally challenged woman, right? How she ended up with Opp, context on her family. Came on here humble, but people don't respect that, so I had to get in my bag and shut a lot of these hoes down, channel holders and their subscribers. I mean, at this point, I basically repelled the trolls. I basically repelled them. It's no reason for them to come over here. You know, they favorite chick Opp. She left them for dead. She stranded. She left them stranded. She abandoned them. I shut her down and her sister. Right? Because they know better. They know better not to play with my face on this app. Wherever they at, in internet land, they know better than not to play in my face on this app. So we came on here humble. But check out When Flip-Flopsters Attack. Okay? I said in that video, I had listened to it again not too long ago, just for a key. For a key. You know what I mean? I really thought that a lot of the chicks that were leaving disparaging comments, I mean, somebody had even left a comment wishing that I was gang raped. I deleted that comment because I don't want anything like that just sitting there in my comment section. I know that the Opps supporters, they are mentally deranged, they're unhinged, unstable. You know what I mean? They are the degenerates of society. But I had sparked a lot of anger and bitterness and resentment and guilt in a lot of people, right? I thought that I was speaking to a lot of Opps supporters who were in like their late teens and 20s. A lot of these chicks are at best 30 and my age, 40 plus, give or take. Some of these roaches have the audacity to be grandmothers. Yeah, channel holders. Some of these channel holders are my age, who are Opp fans, covertly or overtly. And I see why channel holders and their subscribers and supporters, I see why now, since the smoke has cleared, I see why they tried to give me a hard time since I posted my first video, the interview, in quotations, the interview. I see why they tried to give me a hard time and run me off, right? These washed up female rodents, they knew I was here to eat. One more time. They knew, they knew and felt that I was here to eat, which meant that they would starve. Ooh. Oh, let me run that back. Hold up. They knew that I was here to eat, which meant that they would starve. Got it? Good. So, the fact that children are members of the same vulnerable demographic as disabled people, particularly intellectually disabled people, right? Children have no choice but to depend on adults to protect them and provide for them. Children are at the mercy of every adult they encounter, in the home and outside of the home, just like intellectually and physically disabled people. These roaches, these female rodents and vermin who are covert and overt Opp fans, they have the nerve to be mothers, giving Opp mommy hacks. You know, they're having a whole discussion on how to take care of the baby and such. Meanwhile, not too long ago, right, they were encouraging Opp and the other weirdo degenerates to violate Chelle. This is extremely alarming when you really think about it. Okay? And knowing that you have female Opp fans who not only watched the degradation and abuse of a mentally challenged woman, but who also participated in some form or fashion in the degradation and abuse of a mentally challenged woman who belongs to the same vulnerable demographic as their children. Oh my God. Chelle and the disabled lady that just passed away, rest in peace, they both belong to the same vulnerable demographic of people who are at the mercy of other people who are not intellectually and physically disabled. They both belong to the same demographic. Oh my God. Wow. Do y'all understand the implications of that? Think about the implications of that for a minute. You know, there is this ingrained belief that once women become pregnant, some automatic nurturing system activates, right? Where we go into nurture, caregiver, provider, protector mode, where women will automatically make the child an extension of herself, right? With the implication that the child will be automatically loved, cared for, provided for, and protected. That is false. That is a fallacy. All day long. All day long. Right? So this is a false presumption that women are nurturers by nature who lack any tendency to violence against children, whether those children are birthed from their womb or other women's wombs. Okay? And remember, 1%, we pretty much agreed that Opp and her supporters have extremely disturbing, perverted, vile kinks that would be considered taboo even. Or are they? Are they taboo in 2024? It's crazy out here, right? So they have these taboo kinks, but are they really taboo? I mean, look at all of the support that she has, still has, covertly or overtly. They could say they're not Opp fans, or I'm not a fan of anybody. I'm a fan of my own. Stop. The pathological lying has to stop. Stop it. Cut it out. Cut it out. You're not a fan of mentally and physically disabled people, because if you were, you would not be exploiting them for money, clout, and accolades. Yeah. So, knowing that many Opp fans, covertly or overtly, are also mothers, I am going to make an educated guess and state that Opp supporters, they use Chelle's abuse and violation as a stress relief, right? They use her violation as a stress relief. What do I mean? Right, stress relief or stress release, meaning that they take refuge in exploiting disabled people, taking part in the actual abuse, or encouraging it in some form or fashion. Stress relief from the difficult job of parenting, because any mother or father, mainly mothers though, because we know what it is. Any mothers listening to what I'm saying, we know that mothering, parenting as a mother is a difficult job, right? There's no manual, you know. There is no manual. Even if you can read 100 books on parenting skills, you know, how to effectively raise children. Life is going to life. Life going life at the end of the day. You know, children are born with DNA and traits from both mom and dad, but at the end of the day, they are individual human beings with their own set of characteristics and traits, so you have to also take all of that into consideration. But these roaches, these female roaches who have the audacity to be Opp supporters, supporting a chick who has violated a mentally challenged woman, as well as other degenerates. We're not going to forget Juicy, with her funny looking ass. She has the nerve to be a mother, right? Encouraging Chelle to perform fellatio on a homeless drug addict, you know, and this chick has the nerve to have children. What if somebody did her children like that? You know, they gonna get their justice, believe that. Sometimes things don't hit you as the parent, but baby, you are setting your children up. That's just the way it is. That's just the balance is required in life. I spoke about that in the last video. Okay, so these female roaches, they take refuge in exploiting disabled people, whether that means they're taking part in the actual violation, the actual abuse, or they're encouraging it in some form or fashion because they are seeking relief from the difficult task, the difficult job of parenting, in any other area of their lives that are in shambles. Okay? Think about all of the things people engage in after a long day at work or after a long week at work. Just think about what you do. Some of us like to wind down with a glass of wine and a nice meal, you know, or a good book at the end of the evening. I like a glass of wine and a good book. You know what I mean? You know, or, you know, you cuddled up, you hugged up with your partner. I love all of that, you know. So think about all of the things that you engage in to de-stress, right? To relieve yourself of the obligations that demand our attention and labor throughout everyone, right? Because some people try to act like they can't relate to certain things. Please, please. The society that we live in, please. You are trading your labor, right, at the end of the day, which inevitably causes some type of stress where you have to de-stress. I'm not saying that when you go to work every day is stressful, but let's not act like your boss is not being an asshole or nagging you. You know what I mean? Let's not pretend like there's not days where you like, you know what, damn, I don't even feel like going in here. Let's stop. Because some people pretend like that's not the case. Even entrepreneurs, even people who are owners and CEOs of their own businesses, right? They're going to have days where it's stressful, you know? So all of us as human beings, as people, we tend to engage in activities that will help us to de-stress, to release that stress, right? To wind down. Couple that with the overall sentiment and reality of how difficult parenting may be at times and how ill-equipped, that's very important right there, how ill-equipped many parents are. Again, there's no manual. This is why I don't tend to be so hard on parents. There is no manual in raising children. You could do the best you can as a mother, and your child's going to go in a direction that you did not intend for them to go in, because they are still an individual. There are parents that rightfully do not want anything to do with their adult children, right? Even after they have raised them in the best way that they could. You have children that do not want anything to do with their parents. They have moved, across the country. They have moved so far away from them because of their parents' toxic, demeaning ways, right? Their toxic, dysfunctional ways, okay? So there's no manual in this. A lot of people, the majority of people are winging it. The best thing that you can do, just to digress a little bit, is work on yourself, do shadow work, and just do the best that you can with integrity, right? And from a righteous place. That's the best that any of us can do. Okay? So, a lot of people pretend like they can't relate to what I'm saying. Please stop it. Okay? Even if your child or your children are adults living on their own, no longer under your roof, you can relate to the stress and difficulty of raising a child or children once upon a time when you were raising them when they were children under your roof. This applies to you. Okay? Especially for those who did not have a solid support system. I had a solid support system with both of my children. I did not have to work. Okay? And it was still difficult because we know even if the father is in a home, right? Babies still want to be up under their mother. They want to lay their head on some titties. They want to lay their head on your chest because your voice, they recognize, they are familiar with your voice as they were in the womb. So even if dad is in the house, it is still a difficult task. So just throwing that out there, and shout out to all of the mothers who are doing the best that they can, right? With their children, whether they are minors or adults. Shout out to y'all. Okay? Giving all of the mothers out there their flowers. All of the mothers that are protecting their children, right? Giving those mothers their flowers. So, with all of those stress factors at play, among others, hold on, let me check my timer because I had some food in the oven and I cannot let that food burn up because it's looking like a situation. So with all of those stress factors at play, among others, most people are going to naturally seek ways to alleviate the stress and discomfort by engaging in something comforting, right? Whether that means abusing chemical substances, including alcohol, because some people try to separate alcohol from, they'll say drugs and alcohol when alcohol is a drug. So we're going to throw that out there. Right? Whether that means mindless eating, just stuff in your face, just eating unhealthy foods, mindless eating, reckless sexual activities. And then there's everything in between all of that, way over to the other end of the spectrum of getting aroused, op fans, op supporters, covert and overt, getting aroused by seeing pain inflicted on another person, and in this case, a mentally challenged person, etc. Because, again, app supporters, overt or covert, are sadists. They are sadists, right? I refer to this as a person's after-hour life, right? Meaning after all of the life stuff has been squared away. You done paid your bills. You done went to work all week, got there on time, completed all of your projects, all of your tasks and duties. After the work week, you have squared all of that away. You know, the day-to-day societal obligations that we are expected and required to meet, right? When all of the boxes can be checked, and when people can live their after-hour life, okay? When they can live their after-hour life. And I don't literally mean after hours as when the bar closes at 2 a.m. or whatever the time the bar closes, whatever city you're in, where people are still trying to party. You know what I mean? After the last call, people are still trying to party. I'm not referring to that. You know, after someone feels that they have satisfied their requirements of the role that they chose to play in life, where they can switch hats. So knowing that Opp fans are sadists who have children, which again is very alarming, who belong to the same vulnerable demographic as intellectually and physically disabled people, it is crucial, 1%, that you pay attention to what women say. I know that men are also abusers and can violate. Again, not talking about them, talking about women who carry and give birth to children, who also support, encourage the violation of intellectually and physically disabled people. I'm specifically referring to them, to those females. Okay? Pay attention to what they say, what they are interested in, etc. Because that will give you access to their deeper mind. What do I mean by deeper mind? Their kinks, all of their darker traits, their desires, their thoughts, anything that is in their shadow, that lives within their shadow. And again, I mentioned how, chicks refuse to do shadow work. Then when somebody like me and Babies and Fools come along, they scratching their head and they can't figure out, why they are being checked the way that they are, why they are feeling the way that they are. But you have to pay attention because these people do have disturbing kinks, and you may be sending your children around them. So pay attention. Pay close attention to these people, what they say, ask questions, what they're interested in. A lot of times people will reveal themselves just with their words alone. Okay? So again, as critical thinkers and as striving critical thinkers, when you pay attention to what these people are saying, as they're revealing their true selves, their darker selves, their shadow, this can at least help you as a mother, right? As a father, in discerning who to keep your children away from. Everyone does not deserve access to your children. But what's really heartbreaking is that the children of the Opp supporters, they are at the mercy of these roaches that give birth to them, that bully them. Listen, I am going to end it here, but there will be a part 2. We're going to continue this conversation. It's very important for all of the parents that are listening to this. Okay, so y'all just stay tuned. And again, thank y'all for showing up. Don't be afraid to like, comment, subscribe. Be respectful. That's all I ask. All right.